Disclaimer: the video you are watching is not the full course video. This is only a demonstration from our AWS training program. The purpose of this demo is to help you understand how our trainer teaches and to check whether the explanation style is clear and easy for you to follow. If you find the teaching helpful, you can continue learning with our complete course.
Hello and welcome. In this video, we are going to discuss about types of cloud. Now, this is very important for you to understand these three types of cloud. One, we call it private cloud. Second, we call it public cloud. And third, we call it hybrid cloud. Why it is important for you to understand all these three? Because when we will learn some AWS services, for example, when we will learn about AWS VPN, at that time I will mention that we are using this particular service when we have hybrid cloud. Now, if you don't have idea about hybrid cloud, at that time you will be in problem. So, to get better understanding of AWS services, you must have idea of these three types of cloud. Now, let's start with the first. We call it private cloud. Right. Now, see, when we are talking about private cloud, this is a cloud exclusively used by one business or organization. In simple way, I can say that if I am building cloud for my company and my users or my employee of the companies are going to use this, we call it private cloud. Now, you may have one doubt, right? The doubt is, okay, then what is the difference between on-premises infrastructure and private cloud? Because if you have your on-premises infrastructure, your employee going to use this, right? On-premises infrastructure is required to build your private cloud. Now, the difference is when you are saying that you have cloud service, it means you have AAA. It means your on-premises infrastructure is available anytime, accessible from anywhere, and you can access this using any devices. So, in on-premises infrastructure, if we add this AAA facility, we can say that, okay, we have our private cloud. In the private cloud, we have some advantages and we have some disadvantages as well. Now, when we talk about advantages, you are building your own infrastructure, right? It means you have complete control of your infrastructure. You can decide what will be your hardware. You can decide what will be the security of your infrastructure. So when you are going to use private cloud, the one of the biggest advantage we have is we have total control on our infrastructure. Now, what is the disadvantage? Disadvantage is we have to build our own infrastructure. Lots of money, upfront amount, or we can say that capital expenditure associated with this. And you are maintaining your infrastructure, right? So you have to hire lots of manpower as well. Now, which company will use this? So for example, if it is a company related to the security, right? The government compliance is you cannot share your data. So I want to take care or I want control of my whole data. In this case, I will use this. Now, if you don't want to manage this, your requirement is not to manage your infrastructure. In this case, we have second option known as public cloud. In the public cloud, third party, or we call it cloud service provider will manage everything. So we are not going to deploy our own infrastructure. Okay, servers and storage and everything will be provided by cloud service provider. And we will access this infrastructure using internet. Here, when we are talking about cloud service provider, there are many, but we have mainly three cloud service provider, right? AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud Platform. So they have their data center. We will deploy our resources over there, and we will access our resources over the internet. Here, it is very simple to deploy resources on their infrastructure. The biggest advantage is there is no capital expenditure. We do not need to deploy data centers. We will use data center resources of these companies, so it will be very easy for us to manage this. What is disadvantage? The disadvantage is we don't have control on their infrastructure. When you are going to use resources of cloud service provider, we are not going to access their underlying infrastructure. So we have one advantage, that very less management, no, almost like a zero capital expenditure. But the disadvantage is also associated with this, that we don't have control on their underlying infrastructure. So when we are talking about this kind of stuff, we have public cloud, we have private cloud. Private cloud having one advantage, one disadvantage. Public cloud having one advantage, one disadvantage. But what if I am telling you that we can use best of both and we call it hybrid cloud? Now, out of all these three, hybrid cloud is actually very popular.
Thanks for watching. To continue learning AWS with structured lessons, real labs, practice tests, and live sessions with Bhavesh Atara, join our full course at www.cloudfolkshub.com. For any help, call 982-575-7737. All course details are provided in the description.